going on, everyone? This is Peter Jennings. I go by CSURAM88 across the daily fantasy industry. Back again doing a lineup review of golf on fantasylabs.com. Had a fun weekend. Really thought I was in position to have a nice score, particularly in this Thunderdome tournament. I was leading by a good bit on Sunday. One of my teams was one of the only two teams to have 5 of 6 make the cut. So a little disappointing finish, but I didn't have the winner who was popular, who I did have on my other team. So I'll review. I did two teams here in the Thunderdome, just a 5K tournament. A lot of fun, obviously, 20 people, 40,000 to first, so a good portion, 40% of the prize to first place. And I'll review my lineups and look at some other interesting things throughout the tournament, just some ownership percentages on certain guys. So we'll start with my cash game team. This was a really tough week. A lot of really good players missed the cut. A lot of really heavily owned players missed the cut, which made it, no one had 6 of 6 in this tournament, and there were only 2 of 5 of 6s, like I mentioned. So talking about my cash game team, I thought it'd be pretty chalky. Bryson DeChambeau, 31%. He missed the cut. I was all over Bryson like I always am. Very bullish on him just in general as a golfer. But one thing did concern me a little bit, and maybe I should pay attention to it, or maybe it's just noise. But he did mention how he was tired and how his body was tired from everything that was going on. And makes sense. He just signed all the deals with Puma. He went from an amateur to a professional. He played a lot of tournaments in a row. He's traveling all over the place. So I thought actually he was going to be able to handle that pretty well. I even said last week that I liked how he's a young guy and how he is eager to be out there and focused on doing well in golf because he had so much incentive to do well. But the reality was he had so much going on that he might have actually been tired. And even though he was trying to maximize his performance, all the wear and just everything that's going on might have taken a toll on him. So that's something that's very subjective. I'm always trying to think about how that stuff plays into account for these golfers, and I think I might have evaluated that wrong last week. Charlie Hoffman on this team, which is interesting. This is my cash game team, so 3 of 6. I actually did pretty decent in cash because I had Palmer and Hoffman on this team. But I thought I would have done poorly. Obviously, one of the only 3 guys making the cut. Just fortunate to have the winner. He was 36% owned here. He was basically a lock for me. He's just way too cheap, and we talked about how he was a great play. Also from Texas, so good benefit there. Then Luke List was really the guy that a lot of people flocked to, especially in higher stakes games. Great driving distance. Seemed like a really elite play for the price. He was only 6,900 at this event, so really like him in general, and he played really well. Barely made the cut, but that was nice. Or he made the cut decently, but for a second there was a little worrisome that he would make the cut. But I thought he was a pretty obvious play, and as you can see here in the Thunderdome, 52% owned out of 19. So 10 out of the 19 people had him. Ryan Palmer was my next play. I played him in cash. Just a golfer I'm consistently taking. I think he's a little bit better than what his price has been. And this course set up pretty well for him. Obviously, there wasn't as much course fit this week, which made it challenging. But from what I looked into, scoring on the par 5s I thought would be important, and Palmer certainly does that. So I like Palmer a lot. He was not as heavily owned in this. I saw him owned a bit more in some other types of games, but solid pick, another guy from Texas, and I thought he played really well, especially on Sunday. He could have even shot better than -9 throughout the tournament. He made a lot of bogeys relative to some other guys that finished high, but he definitely played well, made a lot of birdies, which is great. On DraftKings, you can see here he had actually more birdies, 19, than Charlie Hoffman, who won the tournament. Ches Reavie, Colin's going to hate me for this. I guess I jinxed him. He's just been so consistent, making every cut, as you can see here. He's just been incredible. He had those 2 cuts, but if you go even farther back from the career builder, he was just making cut after cut after cut. So before this cut, he had made, 6 in a row. And for a golfer who was in the 6K range, as you can see here, moving into the 7K range, people realize how good he is. We touted him a lot, showed up high in models, and of course, misses his first cut in a while. So I was all over him. I paid the price too. I assume a lot of you guys who are playing golf on DraftKings took him, and he didn't do well. And it's just one of those things about golf. There's variance, and missing the cut is one of those things. So Ches Reavie, not a great day, but it is what it is. And then Patrick Rogers missed the cut as well. He played pretty awful throughout the whole tournament. I like the talent of this guy. You look at his game log, and he's missed a lot of cuts, and that's the problem. But you're looking at some serious high upside with him just because of his driving distance. So you can see in one of the Puerto Rico Open, he made 2 eagles, made an eagle at the Arnold Palmer. He's a guy who hits the ball a long ways and certainly a lot of upside, but maybe I should have considered the cut stuff more. You can see he's 8 out of 14. The recent stuff's been worse than his last 14 events, but I don't know. He's a guy who ranked well with some of the stats that I had, and I thought he'd be a pretty nice play, but he didn't play well at all. A lot of people shared the same sentiment with him at 26%. So it is what it is. Pretty happy with this cash game team, considering I didn't love the course fit stuff. I thought there was bigger edges in Heritage, which went really well for me. But we'll see what happens. There's a lot of variance in golf, and I certainly am enjoying watching every shot while I'm injured. So I'm loving golf and excited for this week. Let's review the team that actually did well. I had 5 guys make the cut. Like I said, there's only 2 other teams that had all 5 make the cut. You can see the Fresh here had 5, and then Kuno88 only had 4, but he had Palmer and Hoffman. So interesting scenario. I was sweating my cash game team, but also wanted to move up. I actually had more equity with the Thunderdome, given that third to second was a 10K difference. So it was interesting kind of rooting against the guys on my cash game team at the very end. But certainly a good performance and great lineup from Kuno. I liked he got burned by Reeve and Phil Mickelson, who I'm just going to comment on quickly. He was very heavily owned, very cheap. Thought he was a great play. Played him in some tournaments myself. But he too missed the cut, so something to pay attention to there. All right, so go back to my team. A little bit different team, actually a lot different. And I wanted to do that with a Thunderdome. List was my only guy I played on both teams, and that was just because of a price thing. Again, he was $6,900, and I thought he was the clear best value. But I played Baddeley, who was heavily owned. A lot of things lined up for him. He really surged with a great round of 66 on Saturday. It was looking great. He was the guy I needed to do well to win this thing, and he wasn't doing too bad, and then blew up on the back 9, which cost me really moving up here. So Baddeley got my hopes up high on Saturday. Certainly didn't disappoint me with his price, making the cut and finishing well, but gave me a lot of hope and then kind of ruined it on Sunday. JB Holmes, this guy's a top 10 machine. Colin continues to talk about how much he likes him. And again, I'm going to reference Colin a lot on these pods, these live videos. Obviously, he's the director of our PGA content, so important to take into account what he likes. He always loves JB Holmes, and he's a guy who hits the ball a mile. Definitely can make a lot of birdies. You can see here 19 birdies for him as well. He hits the ball a long ways, and he's a top 10 machine. So I think he's a really good target in general, especially on bomber courses. Then Billy Horschel. This is the most subjective thing. I liked him. He was popping in models. He wasn't an elite play, but he was a good play for me in my model and just kind of the research that I normally do. But then I heard Billy Horschel loves the course, and that burned me last week with Fitzpatrick, but I was going to get back on the saddle. Anytime I hear one of these guys say they really like a place, I'm going to take it into account a little bit. I think that you have to, and it was one of those things. He played really well, too, on Saturday. So as you can see here, on Saturday, all my guys, I had Baddeley shoot a 66, I had Horschel shoot a 67, and List shot a 68. So I was looking real pretty on Saturday. But Horschel, I think, was a good pick, and I think he was too cheap for this tournament, and I thought the little bit of subjective help with him saying how much he liked the course made it a good play. Then Cameron Tringali was another guy I liked a lot. He popped a lot in the miles. We talked about it on the pod. He's a guy who has good course history this week, so hint, I might like him again. I'll have to dig into it a little bit more. It's only Monday, obviously, as I record this, but he's a guy that I'm definitely going to research quite a bit coming into this next week here with the Louisiana TPC tournament. So hope you guys got something out of this. I'm really trying to refine this, but I will be doing a review of my golf lineups every week, even when they're bad. I'm going to probably do the review of the Thunderdome if they have that again regardless. Unless I ship a qualifier, then I'll review the winning lineup. But assuming I don't win anything, I'll be doing a review of this tournament just because I think it's interesting to look at the high-stakes ownership. And obviously, it's fun. Congrats to the Fresh for taking home 40K on this. And good luck to all our Fantasy Lab subscribers going forward. I hope you guys have a lot of success, and I look forward to seeing you at the top of the leaderboard.